Hey, this is Rydo, and we're back with another recording of Hearthstone. Today is Wednesday, August 29th. We are, I believe, on the European account. Yes, we are. I've done some tweaks to OBS, and I'm playing around with a program plugin called Automatic. No, it's not Automatic. It's called Advanced Scene Switcher. There's a built-in function called Automatic Scene Switcher, but Advanced is more advanced, thus the name. It does occur to me I could program it to, whenever I leave and go to the bathroom or anything, I could program it to go to a "will be right back" screen, maybe bring the text all the way up, maybe play a video in the background. That is something I guess I could think about. It wouldn't be very fancy because I'm only gonna spend maybe 20 minutes on it though. I wouldn't by default make a super intricate idle screen as it was for no reason. I need to trade something, so the question is, do I hate playing rogue more than I hate playing mage? I'm gonna get rid of rogue and divine shield minions, which will be interesting to see how that works either. Start with this. Also, the Asian account won't have the Tavern Ball back until 3 hours, and European account won't have the Tavern Ball back for 2 hours, so there's, let's see, can I play Zoo Warlock? I was having some success with that. I can, yes. Let's try this. I don't have a ton of news, but I kind of also just want to burn through the news and be done with it. So let's go ahead and start covering this. We have a game on Steam called 360 No Scope. It looks like it's basically a neon asset flip game, low effort game. I don't even know if you really call this an asset flip because it's just neon boxes. So what was there really to flip? So that's really where the extremely low effort descriptor is better. Regardless, this is a multiplayer game, so I would never play it anyways. It's 25% off for $77.49. I think this is, yes, it's the first game from this developer, and I see nothing here that would convince me to play 360 No Scope, or convince me to say that even fans of shooting games should play that. Next game we have on Steam is called Code 51 Mecha Arena. It's an action massive multiplayer simulation RPG game. Let's see, it's set in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Arena game is a pilot. You put it on your VR headset, sit in the cockpit, and drive the giant mech, fight your foes. Unlike most VR shooter games, you won't need to play in a stand position or move around. So this is a VR game. Let's see. It says it's ESRB rated for teen, which is questionable. I can take this and then play this and do this. So kind of the only thing I can do right now would be to play this and attack here. So I'm just kind of waiting to play this character, so then I can play this character and gain +5 attack on one turn. Which, that's really the only reason why this character even exists. Let's see, I almost wonder if I should wait until later. Let's see, what does this mecha game look like? It looks like it's fine, but being an arena shooter, it makes it a little weird, because mecha games, I wouldn't really say that they're arena style games, I would say that you're more in something closer to an open world. Like it may be a closed off arena technically, but you wouldn't call it that. Regardless, the game is a multiplayer and requires VR, so I have no interest in it, but Code 51 is 20% off for $15.99, which is about 3 times you would normally pay for a VR game, and I'm seeing almost a Borderlands style of animation on it. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna wait till the 7th turn. I can't immediately hate this game, but I can immediately dismiss it. Something you might want to check out if you have VR, particularly since you probably are not too opposed to spending a lot of money if you do have VR headset. Gematsu has an article, The Game Paradise: Cruising Mix Special announced for the PS4 update. Let's see, update to the 27 released shoot 'em up includes Tetsujin collaboration. So let me read the update here. Adjacent minions +2/+2. Let's see. New features in the Game Paradise Cruising Mix special include arranged background music, 2 new Claris bombs, collaborative with Top of Land's Tetsujin, including the spaceship playable character and weapon character. Yeah, this is just a non-story because I don't think this bullet hell shooter game is ever coming to the West anyways, and this update is not adding anything to the story, so let's move on.
How long can this go on? How long can this go on? Mushroom! Crystallize!
We've got a game on Steam called Blood City. It looks like it's a platformer style game. It also looks like it's very not smooth platforming. Seems like the character slides all over the place. It seems like it's trying to homage or rip off Castlevania with some special effects that certainly couldn't have been in the early NES Castle Effects games. But I don't think that it's succeeding here. Little bits of it look cool, certainly, but just watching the player in the video struggle to accomplish their goals is the problem. This. Deal this. Deal this. This. Well done. There's 10 damage. Blood City is 25% off for $2.24, so they're not asking a lot. They already know it's not that great of a game. But I think it's also an ultimately very easy to skip game. This developer's made 2 other games that came out in 2016, neither of which ever got enough reviews to even get rated. So yeah, it's easily skippable. Gematsu has an article, Conception TV anime begins airing October 9th, key visual and cast revealed. I wanted to look at this because I'm pretty sure that there's a game that's been announced based on this. The name of it's Conception, so who knows what it's really about. Let's see.
Easy picking. Someone call for the doctor.
Let's see.
It's playtime.
I can play 4 damage and win. So a win. There you go. Yeah, brief introduction. It says Granvania, magical world corroded by impurity. Itsuki Yugi, who is summoned from Earth to the heavens to purify the impurity. So I assume this is an isekai, another world anime, which are way too popular. At least, maybe they're not popular, but a lot of them get made. Must participate in love ceremonies with 12 maidens of the stars in order to give birth to star children. In order to carry out my mission, give birth to my children. So, I didn't think Game Master just talked about anime, though. Like, that's not at their top bar. They have a top bar with PS4, Xbox One, Switch, 3DS, PS Vita, PC Store, browse games. Okay, yes, there is, I'm noticing, a game related to this. They just have a link. So there will be some kind of video game, I think. Almost certainly it's a visual novel. It could be a JRPG conception, probably not coming to the West. That certainly is a story that has some connotation to it that will have to delicately be danced around in some areas. Let's see. Gematsu also has an article, Tokyo Ghoul Rebirth coming west this fall. I believe this is probably the other second season of Tokyo Ghoul that I've heard is a lot better than the first season. Like, I tried to watch Tokyo Ghoul and didn't see anything there that interested me. Which happens a lot with anime in general, is that my ambition to watch any anime is often quickly smoldered and lost. And I'll watch like one episode and go, nah, no interest. Or I'll watch one episode and skip to the final episode and say, does this story go anywhere? And often the answer is no, it really doesn't. Let's see. The game is known as Tokyo Ghoul Reinvoke in Japan. It's coming to iOS and Android. And, like, what kind of game is it? Probably. If I was to guess, it's probably some kind of card collecting style game. No, it seems like it's a dungeon crawler style game. And it's actually rather flashy for a cell phone game. It says it's a 6-person tap combo system with an in-depth leveling system. Doesn't look too bad for a cell phone game, honestly, if you're into Tokyo Ghoul.
So many possibilities.
Okay, we can play this, and then now let me play this, and then now let me play this, and now let me do this, and that. Next, we have a game on Steam called Touchdown Football Solitaire. So it's a football-themed solitaire game, which doesn't look incredibly good, honestly. And since I have no interest in American football or soccer and world football, I have no interest in any kind of football. I'm in a weird position here. I think you probably could find better better solitaire games out there than this. Let's see how much it is. It has 20 achievements. It's 15% off for $4.24. I think that's asking way too much from this developer. Let's see. This developer has already released a game called Chef Solitaire USA, Home Run Solitaire, Legends of Solitaire, Curse of Dragons, Cynic Christmas Solitaire. Some of these games are rated positively. I'm not 100% surprised, but he's got about 5 solitaire games that he's released for $5. Nobody needs more than one solitaire game. In fact, frankly, everybody should just be getting the solitaire with Windows still, and it's a hard justification to do anything different. Okay. Get that. And then I kind of want to just hold on to everything. Let's see if we could get Light Warden, but I don't think I think I've already played them all. So just do that. Next game we have on Steam is called Fear the Wolves. It's early access action adventure. It's a they say it's a competitive battle royale first-person shooter. Set in Chernobyl. Looks like it's a little too close to an asset flip first-person shooter game. It's got some detail to it, certainly. It's mixed reviews with 43% of 227 users. This developer's made one other game that has mixed reviews also. So yeah, I think this is an easy game to ignore. So close that. Not really gonna have too many games. Too many games to put on my wish list today, which is fine by me. GameIndustry.biz has an article. The company Poll to Win restructures into 3 regions. Service Forum appoints new presidents for Asia, Europe, and North America, and India. So North America and India are combined. Oxford comma there. What's interesting here, it says a service forum appoints it, so it almost sounds inherently like what happened there is that Poll to Win is in bankruptcy or has been taken over by the creditors.
Your soul shall be mine.
And there's literally no article here. It just says click here to go to Poll to Win's own website and read their article. Never heard of Poll to Win, so they're probably not a big deal company anyways, but some kind of video game company clearly. Let's see. Your Gamer has a article, PES Pro Evolution Soccer 2019 review. Patience on the pitch, a shambles off of it, and clopped out. I don't know what any of that means, but my guess is that Pro Evolution Soccer 2019 is not that great. It doesn't seem like they're giving them a number. I'm not seeing it immediately. Just play this in return. Yeah, I'm not seeing any kind of number or review wrap up so far. Let me look at the bottom. Yeah, the final paragraph says, despite it all, keep thinking about the football. You know, the actual football. It really is a marvel, and it marvels so much. So much good comes from it. Gorgeous passes, stunning shots, realistic tackles. But it finds itself stifled by a football game that's stuck in the dark ages. So yeah, they don't like Pro Evolution Soccer 2019. Let's do this. Hey, there we go.
Face the light.
Let's do this. In return. Next we have a game on Steam called Piano Bar. It says it's a casual music noir single player game. Piano Bar is a music rhythm game where you come into a game as a professional piano player who performs in cocktail lounges, playing jazz music to make a living. Play the perfect melody to catch young ladies' attention, and who knows, maybe you'll get lucky. So it seems like the keyboard gameplay on this
In the light's name.
just has you typing a lot of keys.
Someone call for the doctor.
Let's see.
Someone call for the doctor.
Let's keep on powering up this guy. So I'm seeing screens here of different women drawn in a kind of Western style, bigger cleavage and thinner waist than is realistic. It's not terrible. And then on the right is just a guy kind of in shadow who's the piano player. And so it seems like this is a one-screen game where just the lady changes and the music notes change, and that is it. And how much do they want for this game? That's available in English, German, Simplified Chinese, Portuguese, and Russian. It's 30% off for $4.89. I don't think so. Like, I do not think for a second that's a good investment of money to.
How long can this go on?
Face the light.
Let's go ahead and take out one of these guys.
Job's done.
Yep, this is not a game worth owning, it looks like. Developers made a few other games, but most of them all seem like they're more musical based demo things instead of a game. Let's see. This.
How long can this go on? How long can this go on?
Face the light.
This. See, I want to win here,
Free me!
but you really have to play kind of strategically with this pain wallet. Next game we have is a game called Me Smart Orc. Me Smart Orc is a short choose-your-own-adventure text game. We haven't seen text games in a while. I end up having to block almost every text game I see, otherwise it just continuously gets recommended to me. And I'm sorry, I just cannot consider a text-based game a game. Me Smart Orc is free, so the price is right, certainly, but I just don't think, in my definition of what a video game is, an audio-visual interactive media, if you do not have audio, if you do not have visual, and you are only barely interactive, you're at least 2 out of 3 out of what I consider an acceptable range for games.
Stop copying me! Stop copying me! Face the light.
Free me! Free me!
Let's see. Yeah, Me Smart Orc, no interest to that. Gematsu has an article, Love Plus Every delayed to an unannounced release date in Japan. Konami apologizes for the smartphone game's repeated delays. Let's see. So, so clearly this Love Plus smartphone game is not going well. Love Plus Every. Let's see. Here's a trailer. I'd like to kind of know what kind of game it is. I'm just seeing anime girls playing tennis, which that very much might be where the Love Plus double entendre name is coming from. Somehow it's like a tennis dating game. Yeah, it seems like it's probably a dating game where you basically have a virtual girlfriend, a virtual pet type character, like a Tamagotchi. Go and take the victory. Want to get as many victories as possible. Win streak bonuses, sure. We have seen a lot of them this month. That being said, like, I don't spend enough time between the 3 accounts to really get up to rank 17, 16. My only real hope is that I just slowly crawl upward and make it to those higher ranks, but I'm not sure. Next we have a game on Steam called Planets. It says it's an early access action adventure RPG. To me it looks like it's a unfinished, unpolished space game of some sort. Seems to be, there's docking, it seems like there's space stations and shooting and fighting and kind of looks like FTL, but not as polished as even FTL looked, and FTL certainly wasn't amazing graphics. Anyways, let's see how much it is. Early access, $9.99 with no discount. And this developer has made nothing else, so easy enough to ignore that game.
In the light's name.
Next game we have on Steam is Blade Strangers from Nicholas Incorporated, as far as the publisher at least. It's from Studio Sen as the developer. Blade Strangers is one of what feels like at least 3 games that have indie characters fighting each other. Blade Strangers is a 2.5D fighting game. It's not a Smash Brothers type game, which is the Shovel Knight 4th DLC is a Smash Brothers game. Let's see. What's funny is
Shields up.
one of the characters is like a kid that has a pink backpack from one of the games, and she's fighting several other characters that are all weird looking. The Binding of Isaac character and Shovel Knight are both in Blade Strangers. Isaac is scaled up quite a bit. This is an interesting combination for a fighting game. It feels like something that, even if it's just for a joke, people might want to play at some point, but there's also possibly a good game in all of this.
Face the light.
And in turn, let's see. Blade Strangers right now is mostly positive with 71% of 35 users. This is a game that definitely needs to go on my wish list just because I'm a fan of Binding of Isaac. It's 25% off for $29.99. I think as more people play this game, people will get us more reviews. First review I see says not recommended. It says this game is just okay at the moment in training mode. If you use stick right 2 or left 2, you always set the menu and restart instead of letting you change the keys around. Interesting. So yeah, it may not be a great game. Let's see.
Job's done.
End of the chain. Says mission mode is buggy. Game feels clunky. The game seriously needs a lot of work before I can justify $40, even $30. So yeah, Blade Strangers might be a bad game in a flashy package, which a lot of fighting games certainly could be like. Where, like, a lot of fighting games kind of suck. Let's see. Destroy a minion. This. That's not what I wanted to do.
Fails. Try this.
Gematsu has an article, Idola Phantasy Star Saga debut trailer. That's IDOLA Phantasy Star Saga. So I assume that this is part of the Phantasy Star series, like Phantasy Star Online. This is a RPG for smartphones, iOS and Android, coming out in 2018 in Japan. Yeah, it's more of a flat 4-team RPG, it looks like. Again, not too bad looking. Some of these games are starting to look rather good for the mobile phone. I'm not sure if they play very well. Like right now, my mobile phone has... Oh, I don't even need to be playing as the Warlock. I need to be playing as either the Mage or Divine Shield minions. Let's see what happens if I play Odd Paladin. Like, my cell phone updated and it now allows YouTube to do a picture over picture, so I can watch YouTube videos while doing other things on my phone. But YouTube and that update are just not cooperating very well, so often it just screws up my phone in general and locks it up, and I'm having to restart my whole phone, which sucks. But it's not too bad, and I'm getting a lot of benefit of the picture over picture things. Like Clash Royale can be played. There's a Divine Shield minion right there. Simply while watching and catching up. I have hit a point now where I'm getting too much YouTube in my life for the amount of work I need to and want to be doing. So that's certainly something to think about. Maybe I should be a little bit more picky about what I watch, and but maybe not. I need to make some adjustments in my decision making as far as entertainment. Meanwhile, I look over to my left and see my bookshelves of at least dozens of anime DVDs I have never opened or looked at.
The light protects me.
Job's done.
Let's see. Moving on, Gematsu has an article, Sega trademarks Judge Eyes and Shinigami no Yugon in Japan. Perhaps connected to an older Jinx trademark. Let's see. So Judge Eyes and Shinigami the Yugon. Yeah. I don't know what Yugon, Y-U-I-G-O-N means. Shinigami means gods of death. Anybody who's watched Death Note would know that. Says Judgei Shinigami no Yugon. It translates to Will of the Shinigami in Japan. Back in July, Sega filed a trademark for Jinx or Jinx Shinigami no Yugon. So it seems like they may have dropped the Jinx name. They're saying Sakura Wars in the comments might be. See, and from a Western perspective, if only heard the phrase Shinigami in Death Note, my mind just says, well, obviously it's a Death Note game of some sort. Obviously that's what it is. It can't possibly be something different. But it seems like it almost certainly is. Moving on, PC Gamer has an article. AMD's Senior Vice President of Computing and Graphics, Jim Anderson, has left the company. Anderson is the 4th AMD exec to leave in the past 9 months. So AMD's not doing good as far as retaining people in charge. There was a question about why NVIDIA didn't just make its own CPUs, and on Reddit, and they were explaining how AMD and Intel are cross-licensing the x86 instruction set and the x64 or x86 64 instruction set.
Deploying countermeasures. That's not a valid target.
Let's see. Let's just swap these. So, if NVIDIA was to make any CPUs, it couldn't be a regular PC CPU. They would just run programs. It would be more like an ARM chip of some sort. And they actually have done that. That is the NVIDIA Tegra CPU that is inside the Nintendo Switch. So they have done it, but just not in a way that people can buy an NVIDIA CPU and put it into a motherboard. The quote here, I already talked about this article, is PAX West, this is a PC Gamer article, PAX West organizers comment on security concerns following the Jacksonville shooting. Quote, "We have in place extensive proactive measures," PAX organizers reassure. Now, the thing, unless things have changed at PAX, is that
Reporting for duty.
I think almost all of those quote-unquote enforcers at PAX are just volunteers, and so that might lead to a slight decrease in security or just consistency in following procedures. PAX is probably a place that would be targeted. A lot of people and probably some lax security. Maybe they're really going to tighten it up. Again, I don't really know any I don't really know why you'd want to go to PAX, but it's there, I suppose. People that do.
The battle! The battle!
Just gonna keep on playing.
The battle! For justice! Reporting for duty.
There's a part here I can quote. It says, everyone attending this show should be aware of the following security measures. Security will be on site at all times to assist you during all aspects of the show, which is good. Everyone must wear their show badge at all times. That's probably always the case. This includes exhibitors, vendors, attendees, guests, speakers, talents, and artists, professionals, press, staff, and crew. A fully operational security team following our vetted procedures is in place at the show. That's almost saying the exact same thing as the first statement. Let's see.
I wonder. Reporting for duty. The battle.
Alright, we've got people that we're gonna have to deal with first.
The battle. The battle. The battle. The battle.
Let's see. Bag checks may occur at the show. Walkthrough or handheld scanners may be used at the show. May be used, okay. Any CCTV in operation at the show is monitored and recorded.
I wonder what this does.
Uninformed and under... I guess maybe that's uniformed? That's not how you spell uniformed, is it? And undercover security may be in attendance at the show. Well, anytime it says may, I'm almost wondering is the answer to that may they aren't? Because I kind of think we might be playing with some words here. Like, also, all this increased security very well might cost them a ton of money. And K9 security and detection may be used in or around the show. Like, a lot of that stuff just says, we've invited the police to be here and they'll show up if they want to. It's kind of vague. Why say anything? I guess maybe that's why it's so vague. Next game we have on Steam is called Strange Brigade. I saw a quick look on Giant Bomb of this. It looks like it's kind of an interesting game. It's kind of like a British 1 to 4 players zombie shooting game, first person shooters. Seems like it has some more puzzles and some interactable environments, and it's sort of a Left 4 Dead style gameplay where you get groups together and then you play through small episodes.
Reporting for
it looks very interesting. I own Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. It is a game series I'd like to play at some point, but it is also a game series that I have some real questions about. Just how would I cover a game like that, and how much actual information or criticism can I give to a game like that that so vastly changes based on who you're playing with. When I was playing Left 4 Dead just before I was a YouTube streamer, yeah, there was definitely different experiences based on were you playing with a good team or a bad team. Did somebody on the team know exactly what to do and tell everybody what to do and ruin the fun? Or did everybody just run around and get themselves killed? It says it's a single player game, so I guess I'd just have to play it in single player mode, which doesn't look too bad. It says pre-order for free content. I think you need to re-evaluate your definition of free if you have to pre-order and spend money. Because that's not free. It also has de nouveau anti-tamper in it. So this game, Strange Brigade, right now is $49.99. The deluxe edition is $79.99. That includes a weapons packs and season pass. This game is really, really expensive. It's a shame because it looks like it's a game that actually might be worth playing, but I also don't think that, like, when I start to think about it, I don't think that Left 4 Dead was ever that expensive. It was part of the orange box. I just don't think it was that expensive ever. It was probably only about $5. maybe Left 4 Dead 2 got sold separately for $30, but relatively speaking, spending $80 seems crazy. This is from developer Rebellion, the Sniper Elite developers, and Rogue Trooper developers, and several other games. I am going to put this game, Strange Brigade, in my wish list because it is good looking, but it would be a very, very hard decision to actually purchase it.
Reporting for duty.
Repent.
The battle. The battle.
Gamasutra has an article, report, analyzing player preferences from the US games market. Let's see. There's a section here that says the record split players into 6 sections. 14% are console warriors who spend most of their time playing multiplayer action games.
Converting stored energy. I don't have enough mana.
11% are transitionals, adults who spent their lives playing games but now squeeze the hobby into their lives. So I imagine that there is probably a high number of transitional people who... Oh, this sucks.
Reporting for duty.
I have like no way of killing this guy without dying myself. 13% are super gamers who are very invested, hardcore players. Interesting names they're using here. It's not great indicators, and just stupid titles. 17% are early, easy accessors, young players who mostly play whatever is most accessible, often mobile games. 19% are daily dabblers, older players who regularly spend time with social and casual games. And 26% are incidental players who play mobile games occasionally. Which then the question boils down to, do those percentages actually equal 100%? Because I am not sure they do. Let's see, 5, 15... yeah. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7.
Let's move quickly.
That does seem like that breaks down into 100%. So either they're ignoring
Converting stored energy.
ignoring people who don't play any games, or there are no people who play games. Let's see. This article's not very long. This report says players spend an average of $55 on games in the last 6 months, spending on an average of 12 hours a week playing games. 30% of people surveyed only use mobile devices, while 59% using a mobile device as well as PC or console. 27% use mobile device, a PC, and a console. I don't do a console. This is all data based on Polygon. The survey says 67% of Americans play video games. So, and see, that number is actually, I think, probably too low. I wouldn't be surprised if there is maybe some stigma or reasons why people would say that they never play a video game. They may not realize it, but you play games. You definitely do. If you're playing solitaire, you're playing video games. Like, I've met probably hundreds of people in my life, and only one person that I honestly believe doesn't play video games. And that's because it turned out they had a thyroid issue that made perception of time
Well played.
feel awkward and slowed down.
The battle.
Moving on, Gamasutra has an article. Publisher 505 Games takes over support of Roll7's Laser League. Ollie developer Roll7 is stepping away from the support for the latest release of Laser League to reflect and re-energize. Interesting, so basically they're just abandoning it. I almost wonder, is 505 Games owned by Tencent? And is Roll7 also owned by Tencent? Laser League certainly is not a game that has blown up the video game world, so maybe they just abandoned it quickly, as quickly as possible.
Access denied.
Well played.
Reporting for duty. Mushroom punch.
We have a game on Steam called Last Tide. It's an early access violent action first-person shooter. This is the underwater in scuba gear first-person shooter where you're surrounded by sharks and occasionally attacked by them. It's rated mostly positive, 79% for 269 users. Early access is $14.99 with no discount. It's an online multiplayer only, so I have no interest in it. But it is out now in early access, so if you ever wanted to play a first-person shooter underwater for some crazy reason, that is now an option. Next game we have on Steam is called The Great Geometric Multiverse Tour. So this is an action-adventure single-player game. What this looks like to me, though, is some crazy, blocky, low polygon assets that normally I'd call it an asset flip, but I don't even know what you call this now. It's just like random polygons in a first-person shooter game. It doesn't look interesting. It's $12.99 for no discount. Let's see. And it's the first game from that developer, so yeah, moving on. Let's see. This, and this.
Reporting for duty. For justice.
And anything I
well
do.
Played.
That's not a valid target.
So in the turn. PC Gamer has an article. Owlboy's creator Chrono Break Mockup is a beautiful teaser. Owlboy creators Chrono Break is the name of another game that he made a mock-up for. It's a beautiful teaser for a sequel that will never exist. Let's see. Chrono Break being a game that was supposed to be a sequel to Chrono Trigger 15 years ago. So why is Owlboy even wasting the Owlboy creator wasting their time with that? I didn't really love Owlboy as a game anyways, but I think he would be much better making his own games. If he wants to be heavily inspired by Chrono Trigger, that is fine. But, you know, doing these speculation teasers for games you'll never get the license for is no way to is no way to get the license. And a Chrono Trigger sequel 15 years later is not going to come to a random person. It might come to a Japanese developer who worked on Chrono Trigger if they wanted to be involved in it, but getting permission as a foreigner is pretty much impossible. YouTube had a tweet that I wanted to mention. You can now track how much time you spend watching YouTubes, so it's easier than ever to know when to take a break, which is apparently there's a time in the watch history, and there is a toggle in the options that says remind me to take a break. Which certainly doesn't help creators. Last thing we need is YouTube telling people to stop watching our content. I mean, they already do that with the algorithm plenty. But I also, in general, want people to be mentally healthy and happy, and I don't want people to get so obsessed with watching YouTube that they're negatively impacting their lives. Moving on, PC Gamer has an article, Google engineers, PhD students, and child geniuses meet the new breed of Hearthstone pros. So this is PhD student Bunny Hopper is on his way to the 2018 Hearthstone Summer Championship last month, and let's see. I'm trying to just see pictures here and see if there's anything. Google software developer Shoop, S-H-O-O-P, becoming DreamHack Austin's champion last year. So yeah, a lot of people like Hearthstone and play it. Not a super surprising revelation there. It doesn't seem, just skimming this article though, that there's anything else for them to really say. It's just a name drop 3 people who I suppose we should hold them in high esteem, although there's not a lot of reason to. Just because you're a Google engineer doesn't inherently mean you deserve esteem. Just because you're a PhD student doesn't mean you deserve esteem, and just because you've been labeled a child genius by somebody somewhere doesn't mean you deserve people's esteem. If anything, they should all deserve esteem for as far as they have made it in Hearthstone and their success there, or their success in actually doing other things. Hey, we've got another one of these mobile phone driving games on Steam called Deadly Wheels. It's not a lot of detail, no real background areas, barely any kind of user interface. Seems like they're saying it's a casual simulation RPG. Seems like all it is to me is a game where you're driving a car around and shooting maybe some other things. It's 40% off for $1.19.
Mushroom power!
Deploying countermeasures.
Yeah, I have no interest in Deadly Wheels. First game from that developer. The next game we have on Steam is called Lucid Path. It looks like an RPG maker. It says it's an RPG indie single player 2D pixel graphics game. We've stopped seeing RPG maker games come out, so I'm wondering if perhaps games with the tag RPG maker are also getting held back on Steam. Maybe almost all games are getting held back on Steam now. It really wouldn't be a terrible thought, but they should tell them how long is expected to wait, and have their systems tied in well. Lucid Path is $4.99. I don't see anything here that interests me. So is that. Let's see. This.
Reporting for duty.
And should have played this actually.
For justice.
About to die. Next game we have on Steam is called Ether Adrift, A-E-T-H-E-R, Drift. Not A-Drift, just Drift. I said it wrong. And it looks like a bullet hell shoot 'em up game, although it seems like it's more of a top-down hack and slash game. if I was to describe it. Either way, the graphics don't look very good. Played enough Divine Shield minions. One more Divine Shield minion. Let's see. We need to hurry up too. It's been an hour and yeah, Aether Adrift is $14.99. No thank you to that. First game from that developer. There's a game called War Smiles vs. Ghost. It says it's an action adventure game. To me it looks like it's a Russian troll, very low effort game. Yeah, it's only in Russian. It's not even in English. So I kind of wonder if sometimes these Russian troll games are actually targeted at other Russians. Some kind of money laundering scheme, or if it's just perhaps the standards of quality are way lower. Rock Paper Shotgun has an article. Little Briar Rose is a stained glass fairy tale that is out now. So let's see if we can find where it is out now. I'll skip through this trailer. Yeah, it looks like an interestingly animated point-and-click adventure. Okay, it is. Yeah, it's on Steam. It's 83% positive of 43 users.
Reporting for duty.
Let's see. English, Italian, Spanish. That's an interesting combination. $4.99. I'll put this one on my wish list. Let's see. Next article. We already said Volition was hiring one job. Deep Silver Volition is hiring a senior writer. Maybe that's a different company. Like the other company we saw was just called Volition. Just keep on playing. So that's in Champaign, Illinois. That job is, if you're interested. Gamatsu has an article. City management game Buildings Have Feelings 2 has been announced for the PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Is there any release date? Late spring 2019. Seems like the buildings will grow legs and arms and start walking on their own. And then you control a bunch of stickmen.
I don't need any of you.
Let's see. Here.
The battle.
So we'll get some more information about Cities Have Built Feelings too.
Out of my jungle.
Gamatsu has an article. The Walking Vegetables: Radical Edition announced for the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. That's not PC. Looks like it's a top-down shooter game where you're shooting vegetables. Oh, it's already on Steam and it's been on there since September 2017, September 27th, 2017. It's rated positive, 97% positive on 41 user reviews. And see, that is a weird thing here, is that if I start saying games from September don't deserve my attention, it's kind of not true. Because these indie games are giving it another try to get attention on the Switch. Because clearly, for years now, there have been small indie games that have not gotten any kind of foothold on Steam. So I have to wishlist The Walking Vegetables, just to keep an eye on it at least. Gamatsu has an article. Origami Shadow Edition has been announced for the Switch. Origami, I believe, has a Steam version. And I don't think the Shadow Edition... it says the Shadow Edition includes the base game, the Nightfall expansion and all available downloadable content, it seems kind of likely that DLC is not a high priority for the Switch. The game and expansion both support full 2-player online co-op that's compatible cross-platform. Origami, another game that I want to play. Oh yes, and I cannot find what my old gamer tag is, but I imagine I've lost it. The problem here is I've lost access to the email account that I made my old Xbox Live gamer tag with, and because of that and Microsoft's terrible passwords and email recovery systems, there's like no way for me to get access to get access to the account. The good news though is that I think if I was to plug in my Xbox 360, I'd still be able to get my profile and auto login in there, and still play my games. But maybe not. I'm a little too afraid to check. And I'm now at the Humble store, and their digital tabletop bundle, which I talked about earlier, is going on, and the Humble Spooky bundle, what's it called, Spooky Horror bundle, still going on. And those are the only 2 game bundles we have, which is fine.
Let me think.
So.
Reporting for duty.
In return. And then that just leaves me back to my Twitter account. And I'll start scrolling down my Twitter account and see if there's anything here. Today happens to be like the 25th or 40th anniversary. Yeah, it's 40th anniversary of the Lego minifig. Not very much video game related, but interesting nonetheless.
Mushroom power! Reporting for duty.
Let's see. How are we gonna do this? Let's do that one. That one. OBS has a studio progress report.
Our adventures shall never end. Our adventures shall never end.
Let's see. Splunky 2 has Your Gamer has a first look at Splunky 2's expanded subterranean gameplay. If anybody wants to see that, you can get on the hype train for Splunky 2. Let's see.
I dream and the world.
I need to play one Divine Shield minion, I'm pretty sure. And I'm not sure I have. PC Gamer has an article. Bethesda talks Fallout 76 beta and launch. No battle plan survives contact with the enemy. There's a quote. Oh, it's a quote of a quote, I suppose. Shall we continue scrolling down and see if there's anything really important to talk about? Digital Foundry put a bunch of ray tracing videos up on YouTube, but you may not even see much of a difference on YouTube. You might be forced to transition yourself to their website to get higher quality videos.
Converting stored energy.
Let's see. there's a $9,000 Predator Orion battle station at PAX West that's up to win. Imagine you have to be at PAX West. You probably maybe have to do something more than just be there. There we go. There's a divine shield.
But we fight
For justice.
Let's see.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
There we go. I could attack the guy, or I couldn't. Could not. I'll just not. We'll talk about that. This article on Friday. I kind of wonder if maybe on YouTube I should just not stream at all Hearthstone. That'd be an interesting choice. It's just like, forget it. Just stop streaming Hearthstone if you're not going to stream at the old time. Because the algorithm is so messed up that that might very well be the case. Streaming even a couple hours early might cause problems. Yeah, I'm continuing to scroll down here on my thing, Twitter feed, and I'm not really seeing a lot. It's not really surprising. Just a few unimportant games coming out. So we're gonna have our Friday set because I've got this daily quest, and I'm going to have this Tavern Brawl and the European Tavern Brawl all set the way, all needing to be done on Friday. But that's gonna be it for now. I got enough done. I'm cool. I can now possibly take a nap and or start scheduling some videos that really need to be scheduled. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, I am asking people to friend me on Steam and gift me a game, or you can look at the description of this video and go to my Patreon. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.